And welcome back. This is your man Warrior, and this is another patron roster review. This is 808 Boss. He's from Global Elite. What's happening, Global Elite? All right, he's been playing since the beginning. He is now a whale, but when he first started for the first year, he was completely and utterly free to play for the first year. But then he said, fudge that cookie, and he went to the dark side, and now he is a pay-to-play individual. I get it. If you love something and you enjoy the game, why not invest in it if it's something that you are capable of doing? It's no different than any other fun thing that you can do, such as a hobby that costs money. So that's that. All right, he wants to know about how to tweak his arena team if possible, what he can do to change things in his arena. He also wants to know about territory battles. What teams should he be focused on? What Zetas should he be focused on? What Gear 12 characters should he be working on as far as gearing up the Gear 12? He also wants to know about tweaking ships a little bit, and then because he hasn't done a ton in his ships, you can see he's doing good, but top 100, not totally focused in on this, but wants to know if there's any tweaks. Also, the Heroic AAT, he says he's got Resistance Phase 2, Cody Phase 4 with Princess Leia, and he's got a Phase 1 and a Phase 3 team. He even has backup phase teams that he can take in after these 4 initial teams are done. So he's pretty stacked on Heroic AAT and wants to know anything he can change there. So let's start right into this. Let's get into the arena, and the first thing I say is, awesome! Your team is great. I mean, look at this. You've got 2 Gear 12. You're answering your own question. You're taking some of the most overpowered characters in the game to Gear 12. That's important. Now, this boost in Gear 12 does not do a ton when you put in the Gear 11 equipment. It's only when you start actually slotting Gear 12 pieces that it makes a difference, but the gold looks cool. All right, so Commander Luke Skywalker, probably, if not guaranteed, the best leader in the game. Definitely want to run him with R2-D2, and Shrit and Baze in the background create a level of durability you can't get any other way. And Thrawn, he's one of your highest characters. I definitely think Thrawn has a place on this team. Plus, he counters, so he doesn't have to be a rebel. He just naturally counters on his own. So this team is awesome. I don't really have any suggestions except for one. I would possibly take Thrawn out for, drum beat, that's right, Han Solo. You've got Han Solo Gear 11, and he's amazing. And you are also wanting to know about Zetas and things like that. And you've got this guy maxed out. Throw a Zeta on Han Solo. Put him in instead of Thrawn, and watch the utter destruction that he causes. Not only does he do a ton of damage, around 30k every single time he decides to take a turn, but he gets the shoot first, which is really, really nice in arena. And he stuns on both that and his special. And so between him and R2, you can stun lock the other team pretty darn good. And of course, this adding Han Solo to your arena team makes for a very viable galactic war team that you can just cruise right on through with Han Solo and R2 stunning people, Chirrut and Baze slicing through and giving you durability, and Commander Luke at the lead. So you've got a great arena team that's also a great galactic war team. The only thing I'd say is Zeta Han, put Han Solo in for Thrawn. It's a change you'll be able to make. You can pop them in and out, and so if you have people that get used to it, you'll have options. But that would be the only real tweak that I would see. As far as the Heroic AAT, you mentioned that basically you have every team under the sun and you're super happy with your performance and you really don't need or want anything else. You just wanted to know if there was any tweaks. And so I'm going to tell you, with the teams you have that I've looked and I've reviewed everything you have, you're doing phenomenal. Just keep going, for the Heroic AAT, keep all the teams you currently have, and then with territory battles, any of the teams I suggest for territory battles, they will continue to develop the same teams that are important for the Heroic AAT. So let's go into the territory battles, because that's going to be where your focus lies for teams. The first is clones. Now, I had a number of people who had clones, and by phase 5 and 6, they were starting to lose some of the end rounds, and so I'm not going to say that the clones are the absolute best team in territory battles, but they are one of the top 5 light side teams for sure, especially if you Zeta Cody. So you definitely want to finish Cody, because Cody's not going to be all that impressive in territory battles or in the heroic AAT without his Zeta, and you need to finish him. He's at gear 9, and of course you have a bunch of trash mods on him for now. I get that you haven't spent any real investment into getting him totally tricked out, but you got to finish him off for your clones to work and work right. But clones should be up on the priority list for sure, and a Zeta for Cody is definitely on that list. Also for territory battles, you're going to want to work on the Phoenix. Not only are they actually required in Phase 5 at 6 stars, but they are a phenomenal team for any of the light side nodes. They're really, really, really durable. Now, the one mistake I personally made is I went with Sabine, thinking Sabine was all that, and I really propagated or pushed everybody to do Sabine and give up Chopper because I felt like Sabine was the bigger damage dealer and that the team was tanky and durable enough without him. I was wrong. That's right, Warrior was wrong. What's really cool about this team is it requires no Zetas, but you must do all of their uniques and Hera's leadership, and you only need Ezra to do the damage. You need them to be durable and to survive, and so Sabine, unfortunately, does not bring the durability that Chopper can bring with his health regeneration and protection regeneration. That unique he shares with everyone. Between him and Zeb, the team is not going to die. So my suggestion is with Phoenix, you're going to use Ezra for your damage, Hera for your leader, Kanan, Zeb, and Chopper as your 3 tanks, and it will work and work very well. So pause Sabine and finish Chopper up, including getting Zeb up. Between Chopper and Zeb being geared up, you should be good. This is a phenomenal territory battle team. Also another phenomenal Galactic War team, surprisingly, if you're having to work in Galactic War. Another team that's absolutely required in territory battles is the Rogue One team. You have Jyn Erso up, but you do not have her leadership Zeta, and so that's number 2 Zeta potential that you may want to look at. You've got your Cody Zeta and your Jyn Zeta. She needs her Zeta for the protection regeneration when anyone gets any kind of buff over them, and for them to be durable and to get through all 6 rounds in Phase 6 to really assure that you can make it all the way through. You're going to want to have that Zeta on there. A lot of people say it's not worth it, and many people say they did it without the Zeta, but I can tell you that with the Zeta, it is an assurity. Plus, the Zeta is a phenomenal Zeta, again, for Galactic War, so this is just one more thing. But with the Rogue One team, you're going to want to follow it up, of course, with Chirrut and Baze. Cassian, who you have at 7-star gear 11, he's phenomenal. The only character in there I see that you may want to work on a little is your gear 8 K2SO. K2SO, definitely you're going to want to gear him up past gear 8. So it looks like with your clones, you really just need to finish off Cody, and with your Phoenix, you really need to work on getting Zeb a little higher and getting your Chopper up, and for Rogue One, Zeta, Jyn, and get your K2SO up. The last is going to be the most important team and the number 1 team you should be focused on for territory battles and for the heroic AAT, and that is BAM! That's right, none other than Resistance, and I'm not talking about R2-D2. Pull him aside. You can use him in any Rebel squad because he's a Rebel as well. I'm talking about the 5 to the right. Rey, Finn, Poe, Resistance Pilot, and Trooper. They shine. Everybody in Team Instinct was utterly and completely surprised by how freaking amazing they were day in and day out through the territory battles. They chewed through everything and spit it out. It was absolutely amazing, and I'm going to tell you, Resistance can go blast through Galactic War. They can work really, really well in Phase 2. You're going to be able to do mad damage in Heroic AAT with them. You're also going to be able to do territory battles, any of the light side battles you're going to destroy. And then, of course, it only requires 1 Zeta, and that's on Finn, and they're not horrific to gear up. Every character sucks to gear, but these guys are in the average to below average when it comes to gear, and really get them to gear 10. You don't even have to make them super fast. I would put some speed on them, but really it's just make Poe fast and give him potency. You really want him to get those exposes. Once the expose happens, a loop will be created where you will constantly be creating new exposes, resetting everybody's cooldowns, and everybody will continue to get that 35% turn meter boost every time somebody else on the team takes a turn. It is absolutely phenomenal. It's insane to watch. Crazy. Now, I've heard these guys do well in Galactic War, but I had no idea how well they do in territory battles, and they absolutely crushed it. So this, I would say, is your #1 priority for territory battles, is the Resistance team. Zeta Finn first. He's your #1 priority. And then you also have a Zeta Jin and a Zeta Cody that you can work on. But the Resistance, Rogue One, Phoenix, and Clones are 4 phenomenal territory battle teams that will get you through. And all of those characters, your Rogue One team could be used in Phase 4, your Cody team can be used in Phase 4, your Resistance in Phase 2. All of these all these teams can be utilized in the Heroic AAT as well. Now, on to the last couple things. As far as Gear 12, you asked me, really anybody that you're going to use in the territory battles on those 4 teams that I described, you could pop over from Gear 11 to Gear 12 because they're going to be usable in territory battles in the Heroic AAT. And anybody you're going to use in Arena, you'll want to get to Gear 12. Not just to Gear 12, but actually fill the Gear 12 slots out. So when you start farming with your territory battle tokens, only buy Gear 12 items, and then only put those Gear 12 pieces on your Arena team. That will keep you hyper competitive, which is super important. Now let's move to ships. So for ships, you're not doing bad. You're using the Executrix, that's awesome. You've got Biggs, the Imperial TIE Fighter, you've got the TIE Advance, the Umbaran. But the only thing I noticed is you're using Jedi Consular's ship in your main lineup. I feel like that is a wasted slot. He does not have synergy with everything you're trying to accomplish with target lock. So I would definitely, I know he calls an assist, and his assist will probably be somebody that's going to do target lock. I get that. But I would take him out, and I would put in the Scimitar. That's going to ensure that you'll be able to immediately put Retribution on either your Biggs or on your Umbaran, or you can sit on that Retribution for a round or 2 until you need it. Also, anyone you kill, after you kill them, the people that come in are going to come in with target lock, which will ensure Umbaran will get to dispel their Retribution if they're running that ship as well, since that Executrix brings in the Retribution on everyone from the backup. As far as your back 3, I would have Slave 1, so once you've target locked and painted the other team, you can bring him in and just cause utter decimation. And then I would use Wedge and Jedi Consular. Wedge next, because he's a high damage dealer. He can apply damage over time if they're target locked, as well as do a ton of damage. And then to finish it off, you'll have Jedi Consular. Jedi Consular will be able to come in and try to bring a little bit of durability and call an assist and whatnot. So that's what I suggest. I think you're doing phenomenal. Another shout out to Global Elite. As always, make sure you keep your gaming on. Warrior out.